Before beginning this task, I had basic knowledge of the software I use to construct my products, such as Photoshop, from using it during GCSE media studies. However, to edit a photo would be time-consuming as my skills with Photoshop weren't very developed. By using Photoshop during my preliminary and main task, I have now advanced my skills more and now have knowledge of shortcuts, which means I effectively use my time when working with Photoshop. I also learned how to use the different tools more efficiently, such as the cutout tool, an example of my developed skills. Another photo editing tool I use is Picnic, an online photo editing software which is more easy to use than Photoshop, and although it doesn't allow such advanced editing as Photoshop, it can be used to crop and rotate and for simple editing such as light exposure and photo effects such as color boost or sepia. It can also be used to add text to images. I find this software very easy to use and can use it effectively to produce attractive images such as the images that appeared on my main task website. I had never used Dreamweaver MX before, and when starting my preliminary task, I found the software very hard to use and made little progress during the first lesson, only managing to produce a navigation bar which didn't have working links. I found using Dreamweaver the greatest challenge in the task, as I wanted my web pages to look professional but still didn't have the skills to be able to produce something that looked clean-cut and professional. What made using Dreamweaver harder also was that I had to take into consideration my audience when designing every aspect of the pages, such as layout and colour scheme, which was difficult when I still couldn't use the software that well. I found it useful to have the preliminary task to get to grips with the software, and by the end of the preliminary task, although it wasn't perfect, I was pleased with it, as it reflected the skills I had gained and the work I had put into the task. I continued to learn more about the software during the production of my main tasks, such as how to create rollover images and ensure the logo was positioned in the same place on each of the web pages. I had also never used any blogging tools before, so using Tumblr was a completely new experience for me. I liked using it to submit work as it is simple and allows for on-the-go working, as it can be accessed on mobile internet. Through trial and error, I learned to use Tumblr, for example, how to embed videos and podcasts using HTML codes. From this task, I am now considering blogging in the future in my spare time, as I like how easy it is to add photos and videos to support what I'm writing. Other technologies I have used are Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, which allow me to quickly and easily plan out my ideas, as they can be converted to JPEG images, and I was able to easily upload them to Tumblr, which was useful in this task. I use Windows Movie Maker and MPEG Movie Maker to edit and create my charity video, but also to edit vlogs which I uploaded to Tumblr. These allow me to add text to my video clips. Before this task I could use both pieces of software effectively, but the task provided me with an insight into the usefulness of using vlogs and also of editing video clips to ensure the final video is clear, engaging and has a professional finish. I also use Windows Sound Recorder to record podcasts detailing my ideas and decisions to upload to Tumblr. I enjoyed this as they are more interesting than a written response, as you can see. Vimeo and YouTube were useful during the research stages of both my preliminary and main task, and I found inspiring videos in Vimeo which influenced my planning for my main tasks, such as
It feels like I'm standing in a dark room, screaming at the top of my lungs, and nobody hears and nobody helps. And then one day, the lights switch on.
YouTube allowed me to upload my videos to the internet in order to embed them into Tumblr, which is something I hadn't done before starting this task, which was useful as it gave me a new way to use YouTube. I also used SoundCloud and Freesound to access copyright-free music, which is something I had never done before the task, but found it enjoyable searching for different music. I had learned that using music that isn't mainstream, such as music available to download from iTunes, can sometimes be better as it makes the product more unique, and from research I also found that soundtracks to advertisements often become popular even if before they were less well-known songs. To research, I use Google for secondary research and www.surveymonkey.com for primary research of audiences. I found SurveyMonkey to be easy to use and effective in gaining a large response easily. Overall, the task allowed me to develop skills I already had to a more higher level, put into practice skills I already had to create a product, and learn something new.